Hi everyone, it's Jenny with Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House, and you can find us on YouTube at Joey143Jenny, as well as on Instagram at Joey143Jenny. We hope that you'll come over there and see photos of our place and different things that we're doing. So we've been working on this Ephemera book. This is the one for my stamps. Go up a little bit. See if you can see that. Okay, so it's long. It's six this way and then 12 this way, so I used a 12 by 12 to make it. So what I've done is I've taken some what have I taken? Vellum, and I've just cut it and made pockets, and I believe most of them are an inch, some of them are an inch and a half. And then to make them appear a little bit better, I've just edged with some black so you can see, and I've started filling them. When I had my stamps organized before, I had them organized by maybe topical, so like I would have buildings and I would have people and things like that. So I've decided to do them a little bit different. I am going to organize my flowers, all the flowers together, but then I'm going to do them in color. I think that's going to work better. And I've left myself a few pages for that. And then for birds, I'm going to do the same thing, try to kind of get the color. And what I'm doing is not the color of the bird necessarily, but the main color of the stamp. And, you know, since I can see them all, I'll be able to pick and choose as well. Then I also made some deep pockets here so that, because I do like to keep some of the ones that have the cancellation on them, because I think they're kind of neat. So I left some deep pockets to do that. This little thing, I'll probably just put stamps that are just numbers, and I do have a few more of those. And then this is where I've changed things up quite a bit. So instead of topical, I went ahead and just put the stamps by main color, because that's really, for the most part, what I look to anyways. Now on this page, what I've done is heads, mainly heads. There's one here that's not just a head, but mainly heads, and I'll do those by colors as well. And then I did glue in a couple of envelopes that had a wide window. I glued those in because I do have some things that come in little packets that as I order, so I'll keep them in there. And I haven't finished it up, but I think I'm off to a pretty good start. One of the things that I've done is, like for instance on here with the deeper pockets, is I went ahead and did put a thumb hole there. And vellum for me, I haven't had very much success at getting that thumb hole on vellum, so I put a little piece of paper behind it. I'm sure I've learned this from one of the pros. And then that just gives it a little something to crunch against when you use your hole punch. So then I do that. And then I just take, and one of my inkers, you can use any of them, even your vintage photo, and then I just run it across there like that. Just to give it a shadow so I can see, because as you can tell, they really blend in quite a bit. All right, so there's where that's at. Then today what I've done is I've spent a little bit of time soaking stamps, and basically what I did was I took stamps that I have that are on their envelopes or pieces of their envelopes, and I've just soaked them, and then I put them on here to dry. And so I don't have them organized just yet, but they are nice and ready to go. It's much easier to take a stamp off of an envelope if it's a vintage stamp, and I can't remember when stamps went to stickers, but they're, to me, a little bit more difficult. So I did soak some, and basically what ended up happening is after I soaked, I would just do this to try to rub some of that paper off. I did read where you could sprinkle it a little bit with water and then put it in the microwave for 10 to 20 seconds, but that didn't work for me. So what little paper is left on there, I can either cut off or just leave. I don't mind it. For the most part, these turned out pretty good. And then I did save this off of one of the envelopes. I thought that'd be fun to just, you know, stick on something, a tag or something. So those have dried. I just finished those. They're dry, so later on I can put those in my new ephemera booklet. So in the meanwhile, what I've done is some of the stamps were on envelope tears. So you may remember me telling you that my mother-in-law worked for a company before she retired, and there was a lot of international correspondence, and she was an administrative assistant, or back then she was a secretary, I guess you could say. And so anytime she got any correspondence from the companies, she would just tear off you know, the stamp and some of the cancel and things like that. And so some of them I just really wanted to keep, especially if they had a date on them. So these are in the late 80s, most of these. Yeah, looks like 87, 88, 89, 89. So not too awfully old, but still very, very fun. So what I've done is I've started making some journal cards. You could also make pockets. You could use them in your collages. I think actually, yeah, here's one that I used in the collage. Just straight off the envelope. So you could do that. But I just think they're neat, and I really like the tear. You know, we all, in junk journaling, we love the tear, don't we? And what I've done is I've just glued them to end sheets, those, or cardstock. That's what I used on here is end sheets, those pages that are blank in the beginning and end of a book. Now this one had a little tear in it. It looked like it was just really worn, so I'll probably find a stamp or something to put there, or maybe a label or something. And depending on where I put these, I may put something a little more on there. But I thought I would just show you real quick, you know, what I did. Not that it's, you know, huge, something that needs a lot of description, but I thought I would just show you anyways. Now I'm going to use Fabri-Tac for this one to glue it down, because it, as you can probably see, it's shiny. It's very waxy, sort of. And I'm not using my Sugar Bell bottle because I don't know what happened, but I was inspecting it after the last video, and the glue inside, you know how you get kind of some of those gummy things that come out, you know? Well, the whole bottle is like that. So I need to, I don't know, maybe soak the bottle in a jar of hot water or something. Not sure what I'm going to do with that. So I'm just going to put this down, put my lid on here so the glue doesn't come out. And then thankfully this has just a little bit of a drying time, so I can work with it a minute. Just going to smooth that out a little bit. I may have to that glue, or might be a little bit of glue. I do like that Fabri-Tac because it just rubs right off. Okay, now there is a little, let's see if I can get that right here with this. Yeah, and I thought I saw, there it is, a little bit of a corner that was coming up. Oh, here's one. I bet that's what I saw. Yeah, so it's been kind of I've been a little wore out today, so I didn't do a whole lot. just some things around the house and things like that. So, not a lot to share as far as what's been going around the little yellow house. It rained like absolute crazy last night, and then we're expecting some more rain. So, that will be nice for a very nice spring. So I think I'll save this as like a big journaling card. And let's see, how big is that? Because I want it to fit in a traditional 5.5 by 8.5. I think I'm just going to trim it down just a smidge, because I want it to fit nicely in a journal. So let's just take it. Oops. Hey, look at that. We found another little. Stamp wanting to get away here. Okay. Oopsie. Those stamps are very neat. I think the colors are beautiful. All right. I think I'm going to take it down to about 5 inches, and then I think I'm going to take this to take about an inch off, and I think that's going to be a nice journal card. And this one was on, this is on coffee dyed. I think first what I did was I used avocado dye. I dyed it with avocado, and then I just sprinkled a little bit of coffee on it. And I do want to round the corners off here too. I feel like sometimes when the corners are round, it fits into the pocket a little bit better, especially if it's, you know, larger. You don't have to tug around with it so much. So save some of those. Toss that. Okay, and then I am going to put some vintage photo on it. I think that helps outline. And now when I use it, you know, who knows, I may put a big butterfly. I may put a, I don't know, maybe even a bird or a flower. May also put a tab on it. I'm going to save it, though, until I figure out where I'm going to put it. I think that's going to help me decorate it. But I think it's neat. I think they're neat to use in this way. And it doesn't have to be vintage. I mean, you can use, you know, ones you get in the mail now. And I've also saved things that are off of... you know, like junk mail, or certain things that have like nonprofits and things like that. An example, these were off of a nonprofit, some advertisement to donate to something, and I just thought they were very pretty. 2 different places, and I guess they have the same kind of stamps. Let's see if I can find another one here. Many of these are the vintage ones, or a little older anyway, so I don't know if I'll be able to find one. But like what I'm getting at is they don't have to be old. They don't have to, you know, you can use a stamp from today's age. I think it'd be very nice. So those will be nice, sturdy journal cards you can write on if you're doing a stamp journal or a correspondence journal or something. These are nice to put in. Yeah. So I also got these out. These are a couple of my cancellation stamps, so you could easily use those to decorate, you know, some of yours. You could make faux pages like this, you know, and then tear them out and put them on as well. So these will go into my ephemera packet for me to use when I need to. And then these are going to get filed. I feel like they're almost dry. They're going to get filed in my new ephemera pack. There's one right here. Uh-oh, don't stick. There's one right here. I think I know exactly where it's going. It's a number, so I'm going to put it in here. And that'll be my blues, my blue numbers. So, yeah, and you know what? It's really fun. And now where's my greens? I guess I don't have any greens lined out, so green flowers are going to start here. So I'm glad I saved an extra page because I need something for green flowers, and I do have several of this same stamp, so that'll be nice to be able to use, you know, when I need to do that. Here's, and like I said, what I did in organizing is I just did primarily what the color was. So although these are kind of a pinkish white little flower, the overall color is green, so I'm just sticking it in there. And here's another one. Isn't that pretty? Very pretty. Yeah. Super fun. And if you're interested in purchasing stamps, there's all kinds of ways you can do it. There's stamp clubs, stamp companies. You can go on Facebook and get in a group. But Etsy has some phenomenal, you know, small business shops that you could, you know, purchase from there. And I think you'll be super happy with that. So, yeah, so this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize a little bit. And then I don't think I'm going to put any more vellum in this one for right now because I have several pages that are not used. And so then I think what I'm going to do is start on my label ephemera book that we also made together. And I'm very excited about that because I use labels nearly on everything. And I have used the Tracy Fox labels to actually organize my studio. So I just print those on label paper, cut them out, and then just use a Sharpie and write what's in every drawer, every little shoebox, you know, for the most part, whatever I have. So I am going to need to get, you know, my labels under wraps so I can look at them. And as I was going through a few things, I was noticing that I had some labels. You may have seen that when I was looking at stickers. I have some labels that I didn't realize that I had forgotten, I guess, that I had. And, you know, need to get those organized so I can use them. What is this? I can't tell what that is. A bell or something? I don't know. If someone knows, maybe you know what it is, you can put it in the comments. I'm not sure what that is. But I do know it's going to go over here in the greens. And it's fun looking. Well, anyways, everyone, thank you so much for doing this project with me. And I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And also making these cards. I might decorate one and put it on Instagram. We'll see. We'll see what creativity happens. So yeah, thanks everyone. I wish you were here. We could do it together. Have a nice cup of tea and just go through stamps. It'd be a blast. But I hope you know you're loved, and we wish you many, many blessings, and we'll see you next time. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.